joking around, but
oh, excuse me. Sorry. I was just I turned to painting. So that's our new shirt. It's pretty good. VRC.
I enjoy that. I think we should make that
fire.
shirt.
I got a green. My fill wasn't good, but this is what I was doing while I was waiting for you guys. And since we didn't know this was the start of the show, and
what's going on right now?
I love our intros. It's really good. It's really well planned out. I was also drawing because I got home early today, and Jeff doesn't like my camo.
No, it's terrible. You can't just slap poo on there.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, well.
If I had a sticker machine, I'd cut it out, and I'd actually send it to people because you haven't.
Well, that would be impressive, yeah.
Somebody's probably waiting for those.
Not those. Nobody's waiting for
well, hey, if I had 7 years and I didn't do that in 7 seconds, I'd probably have a little bit better better thing to show everybody.
I'm not saying it's terrible, your camo, but it's terrible.
First of all, welcome. It's Monday. I go home from work early today. That's why I drew something for everybody.
I would really buy that shirt. If you can't draw, then the funny drawings are even funnier. Yeah. I totally buy that.
All right. Well, I'll print one up for you and I'll send it to you. Look for it in the mail. Everybody else, though, we're not going to make that shirt. I still have hats, but welcome. It's RC Babble, Velocity RC Cars Magazine. Do a magazine. If you're watching this, subscribe to something, the YouTube channel, Facebook, somebody else's cat video. I don't know. Just go on and click some shit today. It's Subscribe Sunday. We have a new issue coming. You can buy that hat. You have to email me directly. I don't have a link. I didn't do that yet. We got a lot of weird news today, but I'm not going to jump into that yet. How was your guys' weekend?
Mine was nice.
I got something. We're going to talk about this first because we're on a boat. Anybody know that song?
Oh, boy, I do know that boat. Oh, the horse. Is that the horse? Or I'm on a horse
island with T-Pain.
I'm on a boat. So I know we're an RC car magazine.
It's very driver-esque what's going on right now.
This is a boat.
Yeah.
And we're going to review a boat. And I wanted to talk about boats a little bit.
So are we about to go out of business? Is that what's going on?
Traxxas?
No, us. Yeah.
Oh, because we're doing boat stuff. No. So
that's usually
people get mad at us because he was part of it at the time. We don't replace content with boat content, so nobody can get mad at us. But as a person into RC, there are several things that I've always been interested in, and then I've tried once, and I'll tell you my boat story. I worked at JP's Hobbies. I don't know when this was. Must have been my first year. So 97. So boat technology really wasn't that great back then, if you remember boats. I think someone traded in a Firebird. I think it was a Firebird because it was yellow, but I painted flames on it. And I was all happy, just like boat owners. First day of the boat, I'm like, oh, I'm taking this boat out to a pond. And I put it out there. I think I put a faster motor in. And whatever happened, it like melted a wire off or something, stuck in the middle of the pond. A nasty one.
You had a fishing rod with a ball.
Oh, all right. Well, I don't have a fishing rod and a ball. I'm standing there in my brain.
Actually, that was more of a nitro thing. You don't bring that to an electric one.
Right. So I had to take off my clothes, down to my underwear, jump in this nasty-ass pond, swim out, get the dumb thing, come back. And that was the end of my boat love. And I sold it. So I'm hoping that my boat experience now, because I'm really excited, it's a cool boat. I live in California, so I have to find some water. That'll be part of the funny video. But it's fast. And I think everybody that drives something RC looks forward to trying something else. I mean, I tried to fly a plane like once, played with helicopters until I almost killed myself with them. So, I don't know. Boats are interesting.
Got to go downstairs.
What are your thoughts on the L boat? Boats and hose.
I think if it's a convenient place to run a boat, they're a blast.
That's it.
Well, yeah,
I thought I was going to go a little bit farther than that, but
yeah. But listen, I got a close friend of mine. One of my best friends is into boats at his cottage.
Boats are fun.
Yeah, these electric speedboats are super awesome these days. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. They seem to break a lot. They're so fast. My buddy's ordering flex shafts every other week and rudders and stuff because they're whatever the 6 or 8S ballistic fast boats or anyway, whatever. Yeah, they're cool. It's fine. I'll let you do your boat thing.
You'll let him.
So
I won't walk out of the show because you brought a boat.
Fast boats are fun. You need the space to run them, and ideally, you have a friend with a boat too.
I was going to say one of the things I learned with RC boats is you should probably have a boat because I had to swim to get that shitty Firebird, whatever the hell it was, twice. And if you ever swim in nasty ponds and things touch your feet while you're swimming, it's really not that great.
You should have brought a fishing rod with a ball.
Yes, well, I won't bring a fishing rod because I do have a big lake where I'm going to run it, where I can stand in the lake.
Oh, nice.
And maybe do some video.
I think that buggies should be marshaled with a fishing pole and a ball.
Yeah, that would solve my reverse problem. That we wouldn't have to worry about marshals.
Yeah, reverse will be made legal very quickly if you have to marshal with a tennis pole, a fishing rod, and a tennis ball.
Yeah, that would solve all my problems. And it would be funnier to actually have fishing poles and tennis balls on the RC tracks. Hey, we just solved reverse, Jeff. We're going to do the fishing rod technique with corner marshaling now.
Oh, brilliant. Instead of reverse. I like it. Yeah.
Yes. Good. So the driver has to fish from the... And then...
the driver has the fishing rod on the ball.
Yeah, I think the driver has to do it.
Yeah.
You don't bring someone to fish for you.
Well, if Pete can call Traxxas, which I know he has his number, they can ask Traxxas to develop a Marshall system on the car where it flips the car or pushes the nose off. Can we get that in the works, Pete?
By the way, I did this for Travis. Yeah. He did chime in. He always asks what's drinking, and he just put beer.
Yeah, I love Travis, man. He comes on every week about the booze. I bet she doesn't even stay after. What are you drinking? See ya.
Bye. We were giving a cookie away. I forget who's the guy that always says he misses the broadcast because he's sleeping or something.
RC Master. That's our guy.
I was going to suggest that you were going to.
I have to say,
you were going to text him next time that we're starting the show because he's woken up.
He's hilarious. I love this guy. He's the guy who's doing the donations, airbrush donations, and I'm gonna send him some stuff, as we always joke that I haven't yet. Anyway, he's the one who wrote the really long email, and then he keeps telling me it wasn't a long email, but when he makes comments on YouTube, go look at his comments. They're like 4 paragraphs long, so it's funny. He's a good guy.
I noticed. Don't worry.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Jeff, when people joke that they haven't got stuff from you, that's only a joke to you.
No, I realize it's not. Right. Yeah. I realize it's not a joke when it's true, right?
It is pretty funny that he laughs at it every week. I'm trying to find a picture of this new I guess I can do it this way. Sorry. I could have been a little bit more prepared because I was home early today from work, but I sat and draw a dumpster fire and
love it.
So far, this is a pretty great show.
Can we get another boat? What is
always this? It's always a great show. We never promised anything other than Babble.
Yeah, on topics that we don't usually even talk about.
Hey, we can talk about boats. Why? I don't think anybody's mad.
I'm a little mad.
All right, here.
Yeah, I'd rather talk about He-Man dolls than.
Of course you would. All right. So we'll take the on a boat thing off here. A couple things happened this week, and we're not getting to the dramatic
big one.
Yeah. So Haas, I don't know why I think of Boss Hog or Haas. I don't know what this name does for me, to be honest with you. But Hose, is it Hose? 2 S's, plural.
How do you spell Ross? The name Ross. Haas,
yeah,
Ross.
Haas. Yeah, it's Haas, right?
Haas.
Traxxas probably needed another monster truck because I think they have 13 or 14 at this point, and
it seems a little redundant, but it's still
they got if it's like it's an iPhone size. You got 9-inch, 10-inch, 11-inch, 12-inch, and 18, whatever the thing is. It was cool to see the little graphic of the difference in size. This, I think, people answer this better than me. Is this a 4-wheel drive Rustler with bigger wheels?
It's a little bit longer and bigger dimensionally, but it looks like basically a 4-wheel drive
But it's the same.
No, for we have Stampede.
If you want to put it into a very small nutshell, you could call it the truck version of a Rustler 4x4. Yeah. I haven't tried that even to it yet myself, but yeah, that's what you call it. Right. And this kind of splits the difference. It's more expensive than a Stampede 4x4, less expensive than a Max.
It's right in the middle. Derek's iPhone analogy is almost perfect.
Yeah, but I like it only because the Rustler had the smaller wheels, which I liked and didn't like, so I like the little more trucky wheels on it.
It was fun. I'd drive it.
The other thing that came out today, what was the other thing we talked about?
By the way, God bless these people making videos out of nothing. They don't have a truck. They have nothing except what's already on the Traxxas site. And they're like, I'm going to put skills. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to get a video up, and I'm going to get some hits. Seriously, good for you.
Yeah, it's like
I wasn't aware that was happening. That's a thing.
That happens in everything. Though somebody will get the press release and talk for 15 minutes over of 2 slides.
Well, people get excited about new stuff. They'd watch.
I didn't. But we're doing the same thing, except I'm doing it on a Google page. So
right, that's fair. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited if we ever touch it. That sounds weird, but I will. But yeah, fills in the monster truck. I think we got a couple inches left in monster trucks to fill in, and we'll have the complete lineup.
Well, I think one of the neat components is the huge motor, is it not? Like the large for its size motor. Added into
Rutherford VXL, right? So it's got that same.
No, it's got some big motor in it apparently. Some 540 XL or something.
It's a longer cane motor because you need more torque for those big tires, I would presume.
Right. So that's kind of neat. That I don't know how many S it is. Oh, it says right on it 3. All right.
You want the 4S power capability, get a Max. That's what that's for.
So is that isn't capable of 4S? That seems odd to me that they wouldn't have made that 4S capable.
Well, the Max is the 4S truck.
No, I understand. But if you're gonna,
the Rustler's not 4S either.
Why not make this one?
You put the 4S power system in it. Now, it's the Max, only it's not. It's the same. Like they're too competitive with each other. You want people to say, "Oh, if I want 4S, I have to go up."
No, I was going to say make it 3S as the standard, but it has the capabilities for 4S if you want to be bonkers or something. I don't know. Why wouldn't it? I mean,
you probably could, but
people will do that, But
it's whether the speed control can handle or the speed control motor can handle it. It would be. I would have liked if, and I don't. Maybe it could, but it would be nice if it was made for 3S. But if you wanted to, the speed control motor could handle 4S. Maybe that's the case. I have no idea. I don't know.
No,
I actually did. I think I read the press
release. That's the Max score. You can run the Max on 3S if you want, but if you want 4S, just get a Max.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I get it. Right.
I don't know if anybody's buying anything for S capability. So I will talk about, since we're talking about S's, I ran the people that watch the show and noticed that stuff has moved behind my desk on the photo thing. I ran the crates in 8S and working on the video, which should be done tomorrow for the video review. And I will say that S's are starting to not matter because 8S seems like crazy power, and I wasn't really blown away by it. Not saying that I didn't like it. It just
it's power to weight ratio.
That's on 8S. It sounds like a hairdryer about to explode, and the wheels try to fly off, but it didn't do that.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a matter of how bananas you want your car to be. Because if you have a 2-wheel drive Rustler VXL on 3S, it has this. It is equally bananas as like an X-Max on 8S, but the X-Max is that much bigger. You need that many more cells and voltage to make it go crazy. And
power to weight ratio is the conversation, no? Right? Yeah.
All right. So I've been dragging my feet on this because I'm still thinking how to discuss this. So over the weekend, I got a text randomly from Joe that some random employees leaked that they were being sold. We debated whether we were going to talk about this, but it was released today. So there's several words being used.
Well, we were going to talk about it anyways, right? That was the call?
Probably a little less confident.
You were pretty gung-ho about talking about it last night before the release came out, yeah?
I mean, yes.
Well,
I didn't know the terms. There's always a chance that it's when Dr. Dre almost ruined his merger from somebody posted a video while he was drinking gin juice in the crib. I don't know if you remember that.
No idea.
He almost blew out his $3 billion deal because they leaked the news.
Oh, right.
On a thing. I don't want to blow out people's $3 billion deals. I'm hoping that the Proline got $3 billion.
Yeah. That's likely.
That's cool. Todd's buying lunch next week. If you
Yeah, well, Todd usually buys lunch when we do. So,
so I the only hesitance I have is that Todd is, I would say, one of my good friends.
Todd Mattson, the owner of Proline. Make sure everyone knows
Proline. I wouldn't be doing this magazine if it wasn't for him, because when Extreme went out of business and I was doing a dumb beer magazine, and I talked to him about it. He's kind of the ones that said I should do it, and so I listened to him, and sometimes I hate him for it.
He's amazing. Todd's an amazing guy.
But so I will only say this because I'm not trying to. I want everybody to get theirs. You know what I mean? Like, and if I'm hoping that some people do things because they wanted to and not because they had to. Because I know I had to do things when I owned a business and it sucks. So I hope it's hey, this was a smart thing.
Are you going to share with us what you had to do that you didn't want to do? Was it like in an alley?
When you run your own business, you almost go bankrupt. You know what I mean?
Oh, right, okay.
No one offered to buy me. So
I thought you had a juicy hook.
By the way, I'll write a for sale on there if anybody wants to buy this webcast. I'll do it for $500,000. We will make your money back.
I'll give you $8 just so I can cancel it.
I'm going to take that. U.S. or Canadian? That's the only question I would have on that one.
U.S.
No. Yeah. So this has happened many times, and probably multiple fields where a distributor or a bigger company keeps gobbling up, Pac-Manning the shit out of everybody around. In the terms Horizon, they used to be, they actually just did that to Great Plains, which if I was betting would have been the opposite direction, but I have no idea what's going on in the distributor industry. But so distributors are now buying all their competitors, which they weren't competitors, but they were competitors. In the beer industry, this happened with Anheuser-Busch. They started buying the big brands, and I'll use one that was a disaster. Is they bought Ballast Point, which is a not huge brewery, but they bought it for $1 billion, and that's a real number. Stupid money. It now just sold to a group of investors for $150 million, and that was only 4 years after being acquired. So I don't know why a company would spend $1 billion to drag it down, and then
I don't think that was their plan.
Well, so let's talk about why would a distributor buy a brand and not just be a brand?
Like, why wouldn't they just start a brand to compete with Proline?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's a number of reasons why not.
All right. Well, you wanted.
Well,
if you can buy your competition, that's great because you take your competition to the table and you instantly get all that the revenue they were making now you're making.
Right.
And you know that companies have tried to beat Proline. There's still many in business trying to beat Proline.
Yeah, they're not a distributor.
The tire business is a tough business, and Proline is very good at what they do. So, I mean, it makes sense to what Pete said, just buy them up rather. I mean, to start a company, Horizon Tires and Bodies, and try and run the same sort of company that 38 years of Proline has done would be yeah, right. That's right. Yeah, okay, yeah, but yeah, right. And how's Losi Tires doing?
Well, I mean, back in the day, Losi Tire versus Proline Tire was a big.
No. Yeah. Oh, you mean in the 90s? Yeah, that's right. With the X patterns. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, that's right. But in the last many decades, people have tried to knock a dent in Proline, and it's tough to do. It's a brilliant company. Hopefully, it stays a brilliant company. This is not a difficult thought or conversation as to why you wouldn't want to go up against them and purchase them.
Back to the buying up. So they weren't really competition.
Well, it's one thing if J Concepts bought Proline, that's right. Buying a competition. But for a distributor to buy their vendor is a different story. And again, we don't know what's happening here.
We don't know the details. Yeah.
Yeah. For all we know, Todd called him up and said, "Hey, I'm thinking about selling Proline. You're my first call." I mean, we don't know. But in general, if a company is bought, one mode is I'm going to buy my competitor. That way, I don't have to worry about him competing with me anymore, and I can just shut that brand down if I want, or I can compete with myself, and I win every time. Well,
there's also the distributor component of it. Like if Horizon owns it, then then I would imagine Proline's not going to be in any other distributor as well. I mean, you got HR. There's no one as big as Horizon, but you got some other players that are getting bigger now since Great Plains is gone, and maybe they're trying to reduce their SKU count as well. So, I mean, there's so many ways of looking.
We're not going to sell your brand. Yeah,
right. I mean, I don't know if HRP carries Proline. I know that there's a Canadian distributor who does very well, High Performance. They're the main Traxxas guys in Canada, or the only Traxxas guys in Canada, and they sell Proline in quite a bit. They'll probably lose the line. This is the thing. There's many levels to this, because Horizon is both a distributor and a manufacturer, and has their hands in so much of this industry that it's not as cut and dry as like an equivalent to J Concepts buying them to squish the competition. Because as Derek already said, there are brands that Horizon owns that is in direct competition with Proline. So, I mean,
what do you guys think the industry would look like if the two big distributors, Horizon and Great Plains, which are now one, if they never said, let's compete with our own vendors? If they just said, you know what, we're going to keep selling your stuff, and if things go bad for you and you out of business, it won't hurt us. We're just going to be distributors. We're going to sell what's popular, and if something falls off, then it falls off. But great, we just won't order any more of it. That's going to be the vendor's problem.
Well, it's not maximizing profitability and maximizing growth. Then that's what corporations do.
No, but I'm saying, what if Great Plains and Horizon never did that? Armor never got bought. Team Associate was still sold by two big distributors. Kyosho was never Hobby Book Schools. All that stuff.
It'd be better. It used to be great when Great Plains was sold out of an associated part and you can order it from Horizon, or there's all kinds of bonuses to what you're saying, but that's not how corporations run. But I know you're doing a Cinderella story. Yeah, it would be awesome. Yeah.
And that wasn't a rhetorical question. I was asking sincerely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's look at the history of companies that were acquired. Axial, Team Losi. What was the one that they bought, the race team? Oh, Durango.
Well, that was Great Plains.
Yeah, but well, got eaten up. But yeah, but I mean, these are the acquisitions, right? I'm going to take the brand.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, right.
I don't, and I'm not using that as a bad example because I'm not sure that I can say that Team Losi is better or worse for being part of a distributor. Maybe they wouldn't have been around if that didn't happen.
Yeah, you can't compare their success in the '90s to where they're at now.
Right. I have no idea. I mean, we could play, they were fine, and maybe this is the way the brand has to be around, which is fine. I get it.
Yeah.
So I don't think they've suffered, but a lot of the brands seem to. I don't know if, and maybe it's just because all the stuff starts coming from one place, and if I'll be very upfront. Horizon isn't the biggest fan of ours, so they're not sending me stuff at a regular basis. They don't send me press releases. They don't. Whatever.
They're also not open to carrying a lot of brands, especially the smaller brands. This overall having monopolies are bad in anything in the end. But there are there's advantages to Horizons and there's disadvantages, obviously. But they dictate now the availability, at least in most brick and mortar shops, of the products you can buy. It's very difficult as a hobby shop to order direct from all the different manufacturers. You go through distributors. So in the end, if you have fewer choices on distributors and the distributor is dictating what they're going to carry, which of course that's their prerogative, it makes it difficult to get what you want. We'd have more options with more distributors and more manufacturers and distributors and the whole lot.
Now, the other side is that the invention of this weird internet thing that, distributors are less relevant because you can just buy things online, I guess, direct more.
Then you can have the conversation of it's not distributors are irrelevant, brick and mortar shops are irrelevant. And if they don't have the draw from a distributor, then you'll have what you're talking about. And that is a real conversation, whether or not brick and mortar will eventually go away. I don't think it will.
I want to be honest with you. That conversation has been around since I started this and reading.
No, but it's a lot tougher now to run brick and mortar than it was. It was quite a lucrative business at one point, and now you can still do well, but it's a much different business now running a hobby store than it was 10 years ago, but especially 20 or 30 years ago.
We have to be good at it now. Before you could have just had stuff.
Yeah, make it.
You have the hobby shops. Everybody that works there is an asshole. But I still have to go there. Now
you can what you said is true. You got to work twice as hard for half as much. It's a different. The margins now are way lower because you're competing with the internet. There's a whole slew of things. It's a very different business than it used to be. But yeah, you have to be a really good hobby shop now. You have to offer something. A brick and mortar shop has to offer something that the Amazon type or the online stores can't offer. One of it is quick. If you have the inventory, a guy breaks his knuckle and he goes in, buys it, and drives 5 minutes later. That's the biggest advantage. But also with tech support and all, there's a number of things. But there's no arguing that brick and mortar is difficult and very different. And they're the ones that have the draw that create the demand for the distributor. So
I think any hobby store that is run as a business and is owned by people who care and they actively do a good job, they'll tell you that, yeah, we're doing fine, if not really well. I know my little Hobby Town, which is a really well run store, they're going gangbusters. Like it's like, crazy busy. But to Derek's point, if you feel like I'm where the hobby stuff is and my door is open, that's not going to work as a success plan. Not anymore, not in this internet age. And to your point, Jeff, true, actually, absolutely, margins are lower. You have to sell more to, recoup.
Way lower, far lower.
But, it can be done. And people, on the hobby side, it's fun to go into a hobby store. I mean, obviously, like if I get, dish soap and scouring pads and a mop, I would rather have it just show up at my door than go to Target and Walmart to pick that stuff up. But a hobby store, that's going to Candyland. I'm going in there to get, a connector, but I'm going to be hanging out for half an hour talking to the guys behind the RC counter and looking at stuff and talking about the new thing that came in, all that kind of jazz. So, yeah. And
also there's the component of the hobby that for whatever reason, there's a number of reasons. There's an immediate urgency. Even if you're just soldering some bullet connectors onto your speed controller, I want that tonight. I'm soldering that speed controller tonight. Or I broke apart, as I already said, and I want to play tomorrow with the gang that's going rock crawling or whatever. So there's an immediate thing that a hobby shop that's well stocked, and that's probably one of the most important things for success in that area. You have the cool factor that you said. It's cool to walk the aisles of a hobby shop, but people want their part. I want it now. I'm working on it tonight. I want it now.
I didn't mean this to be. We're not trying to jump on Proline because it's a general discussion of hobby health and what's going on. Todd did. Well,
maybe Pete should read Todd's statement because that meant a lot. I thought as we're talking about this, we were obviously.
That's what I was going to do before you interrupt me, like a hobby shop.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I got to straighten you out sometimes. I got to
Jeff works at a hobby shop. You can't tell. I can't get a word in.
That's normal with me, anyways. You know that.
So Todd sent a message, and Pete invited him, and so hopefully Todd will come on, or we can get someone from Proline to talk, or Horizon. Todd. He just, he again, this is a great friend of mine, and he's just fired up for his team, and he thinks Horizon there's going to help him with manufacturing innovation and stuff like that. So I do see some things that, like I say, I don't think Losi has gone Team Losi, whatever the hell name they want to be, whatever their product is. I don't think it's gotten worse. I think some of the things have actually probably gotten a little bit better.
What are you talking about? What do you start that again?
Like I say, when something gets acquired, Arma, I don't really think got acquired. I think that was just their brand that they was probably.
They got Arma when they bought Great Plains,
right? But that wasn't nobody acquired that. That was a made up brand.
No, Arma was the brand that was putting a dent in Traxxas.
Arma was Durango's basher.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So it was there. Yeah. I think that's what happened to Arma is that. It went from, hey, we do race kits to that was going to be.
We all know that's where the money is, anyways.
Right, but it seems odd that always, Losi did that by separating the brand and somewhat Team Associated has.
But Losi didn't do it well. The TLR line is still really good.
I didn't say they did.
Well, I shouldn't say that now. Early in the game, when Losi became the RTR line and TLR was the race line, remember there was flop after flop of the Losi RTR.
Do they have a Losi ready to run brand now?
It's just a really tiny Losi logo and a big Horizon logo. But yeah, Losi.
What cars?
I don't know. I can't. There's a bunch.
It kind of killed off. I think they did the smart thing to me, is they killed off that connection of somehow Losi and Team Losi. You're buying.
That's a silly connection to cut off, to kill off. That's the exact connection you want. We got Ferrari suspension on our Ford. That's what you do. We got TLR developing, and then we take what we learn on the TLR's line and we put it in your low cost Losi RTR. Why would anyone want to separate that? I know you want to separate them so that
Losi is still a pretty big brand. I mean,
I agree. Right.
They do the fit scale vehicles. Those are under the Losi banner. They have the ready to run versions of the 8s, and they do the the thing that just came out, the laser nut truck. They've got the 5T.
All right.
My buddy also mentioned the Tenacity series, right?
Yeah, the Losi 10 and Tenacity. Yep. So yeah, I mean, Losi is still certainly doing very well as far as having.
But it is funny enough because at the hobby shop, if you do look at any of the boxes, the Losi logo is literally a tiny logo in the bottom corner. And Horizon. People walk in the store like, well, how much is that Horizon car? Well, it's a Losi.
Yeah. It's an odd move because I remember when at Car Action they were if the review was the Losi 10, they were like, no, please, that should be the Horizon Hobby or Horizon Hobby by Losi by Horizon Hobby 10.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
it took it too far. I think
the logo would be giant for Horizon Hobby.
Right.
Which I don't know why. Like, why would a distributor care that? Like, we want you to know it came from Horizon Hobby, especially because
we're old school. But the Losi name, like when Pops and Junior were doing it, like that's a huge name. Why would you not want to keep pumping that up? I would think that's what you bought it for.
Whatever. All that marketing name should bug me, and it's probably one of the reasons why I don't like me because I was like, nobody is going to in random conversation say Losi brought to you by Horizon Hobby. So right. I'm not going to print that every freaking 2 sentences to say that. And
that's stupid.
Yeah. So whatever.
Well, they're worth more than us, so I guess they're doing something right.
You don't know. Maybe someone else will buy them. Nobody's bought us.
Yeah, surprise. Wow. Can't believe that.
We're going to get bought. What was that really small distributor in New York?
ERI?
He still actually does a little bit with me. Yeah, Mike. Yeah.
They're still around? That's awesome.
They're still around, dude. They're still around.
ERI, if you want to buy us out, let's talk.
It's a distributor. They're not a media company, but right.
Whatever. Distributors buy everything.
Are we for sale now? Great.
I'm always for sale.
Yeah, I know you are.
Yeah. Well, if I sold you, it's like negative equity. So it's
I
got to trade in my old.
I challenge.
Trade in this old guy for you owe me $10,000.
All right. So what's going to happen in ProLine Innovation? That's really the conversation. I guess. Do we already touch on that? We don't know the answer.
Todd has not disappeared. I mean, certainly the brand is very near and dear to him. I don't think he'd be just like do whatever you want. No, but
you might slowly get chipped away at. That would be more my concern. Monopolies are friendly at first.
Because I invited Todd. Is there anything you want to make sure is clear to anyone who's spinning rumors that has a big negative concern? And his thing was that ProLine and Horizon are better together, and he is really excited about what kind of synergies, the business term, he didn't say that, but I'm using that term, that they can bring to each other to make ProLine a bigger, better brand. I mean, that is certainly what you would hope a company would do if they acquired a really cool brand like ProLine, because there's 2 ways to look at acquiring a brand. One is like, I got it, and the brand is just this logo, so you guys are fired, and we're just going to put whatever we want in these bags now, and it's going to go sell like hotcakes. Or
that's the concern.
Or it's here's a great brand with great people, and now that we can really have the cash to to buy more machinery or to ramp up production or to introduce more SKUs, and then ProLine could by itself, or the brand in question could by itself, we can really make this thing grow. So it's the brand you've always loved plus, as opposed to like, cool, now we own the logo, which is what you don't want to do. So hopefully it's the latter. I mean, that would be great.
Well, I could say that Verizon, if you're listening, and I don't really care if you are, I think they've learned a lot in the past from fucking some stuff up. So maybe
Verizon has
fuck this one up. Yeah.
Well, right. What have they learned?
I don't know. I'm hoping. I mean,
I thought you said that thing. Okay, yeah, okay, right.
Maybe they learned.
Listen. We're not bashing Verizon. Verizon's a great company. We through the hobby shop, we do huge amounts of business with Verizon. They're great. They're great customer support. Most of the products are great. They ships ultra. Like it's a great company to deal. We're not poo-pooing Horizon.
I think there's nervousness about what a company in Horizon's position could do if they wanted to be nefarious and evil. But they aren't.
Well, even if they don't want to be nefarious and evil, maybe if they just want to maximize profits in a way that wouldn't allow certain products to be released in the hobby, where the old running of the company may have released less popular things. And like there's, because we're a small niche market, it makes it difficult when big corporate decisions are made strictly on numbers or sales or things like that. Because there's a lot of potential lost leaders in this industry that wouldn't exist if it was just a board meeting on what to make or what to keep on stock and whatnot. So there is like I said earlier, monopolies are great until they're not. If Horizon decides to, you know what, I'm done with Proline, we're going to shut it all down, then we have no say in any of that. Not that we'd have a say if Todd said the same thing, but corporate decisions tend to be different than small niche market decisions, it seems.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of what we'll never get to see that Horizon will be doing. For example, whereas, an Axial competing with Lozi might try to get their same product in the same category out at the same time, Horizon can say, well, we own both brands. We're going to introduce the Lozi first, and then we'll introduce the Arma vehicle a little later on, and we'll make sure they're differentiated a little bit in price so they aren't super direct competitors, and they can do those sorts of things that we don't really know they're doing. We just see the new products come out when they come out, whereas in the past, they'd be, like two rams going at each other.
And there's stories of this in the past. So this isn't a new thing. There's rumors, and from what I understand, pretty accurate ones. A long time ago, when Great Plains was distributing Kyosho, apparently you could search for Inferno, and their whatever 4-wheel drive nitro buggy that Duratrax had at the time would come up higher on the search engines. And so this is
that was bigger for Traxxas when the T-Max came out, and that was
sure, maybe, yeah, whatever it was. There's a long story in history of distributors and manufacturers and competing products and manipulation, and that this is a thing. It's not new.
Is Triple X main for sale?
What's that?
Is Triple X main for sale?
Sure, 1.2 billion. Yeah.
No, I got OBO there.
Oh yeah. Okay. Right. The guy is sexy from Triple X main, so I will.
Keep your creepiness off this path. Yeah. It's a big secret.
I think I don't really think there's going to be some big shakeup. Like, oh my God, after Proline got bought, something happened. I think we'll be looking back X amount of time from now and be like, yeah, it was perfectly fine. I think the idea that you've got a scrappy company like Proline that's owned by one guy who you can talk to, and there's nice people there, and they really care about RC and all that. I think that's what the reaction is to. It's the idea like, oh, they get sucked up by the big corporation.
Yeah,
it's the big corporations also here you can talk to who like RC cars and hobbies. And I've never I've never met someone at Horizon who I was like, oh, that guy is just a suit who doesn't care about hobbies.
That's fair. Yeah,
that's people. So
yeah.
I've met those people.
Yeah, and they do exist, and there are SKUs in the industry that are being removed that you're kind of like, this slower selling pilot for the airplane is kind of been a staple in this industry, and now it's gone. Or I don't even know why I used a pilot example, but there are some products that kind of went away where it's like, it would be nice if that was still a thing. But I get it if you're again at a board meeting and you're trying to figure out what's not as profitable as something else, and you want to make more room on the shelf.
Well, there are so many people who seem to think that RC manufacturers, part of their job is just to entertain people by having a product exist but not get purchased. You'll see that all the time. Why don't you make a version of like this? I'm not going to buy one, but it'd be cool to see. Well, that doesn't make money. Or like, why'd you discontinue that thing? That thing's been around forever. Like, well, because people stopped buying it. That's why I discontinued it.
I'll give you an example of what I saw today, which I thought was funny. So the new Bronco is coming out, and it has a manual option, but it doesn't have a manual option in the Yeti Sasquatch version or whatever it is, right? The top of the line crawler one. So I'm a manual transmission person. I have a car with a manual. Ring, ring, ring. I did have a Jeep for about 1.5 years, and I bought an automatic because if you're going to go off road, you don't want a manual. You don't want to sit there and work a clutch, crawling and burning the freaking thing out. So because there's a petition to have the top end Bronco with the manual. The petition should be, I'm going to put $1,000 down on the manual, and then you can build it. Not, I want one, because the sons of bitches don't buy it.
Yeah. I have a first-hand. They're less popular now, But even in the early 2000s, where everyone's like, "Oh, I'm sick of flames. I'm sick of flame paint masks and sick of flame stickers and flames everywhere." Yeah, that's still to this day. That's what everyone's buying. People, I hate them. Here's my $5.
Derek,
So I get it. Yeah, well, that'll trump all flame sales.
Derek, the Jeep I posted on Velocity's Facebook, is that a manual or an automatic? What do you think?
Do you want me to look at it right now?
Yeah.
No, do that blank look for another 30.
Does the guy who does that with his Jeep, does he have a manual or an automatic?
Look, the statistics, whatever that word is, I'm not going to say. The statistics show nobody buys manuals. That's why they keep falling off and off and off and off. So even me that wanted a manual Jeep was like, if I'm going to go off road, I don't really want to shift. The fun of driving around town is manual and doing that stuff, but it's a Jeep. But off road, you don't want that. I mean, as much as you want to think that I'm the manual master, rah, I'm the only, my chest hair is puffing out. It doesn't make sense. But everybody and everywhere has, it's probably 10% manual Jeeps. So you could say that 90% of the time is can you flirt with your girlfriend some other fucking time?
It's not that. It's okay. Jim Carrey, George is making fun of me because I won't release new products. I like the comments better than you.
Me too. But the manual.
Thank you,
Egyptian. That was tied into manufacturers saying, "Well, I want this, but nobody buys it." So the market.
Yeah. Well, listen. What do we do for a freaking living? Everyone said, "Oh, I want print magazines. I want print magazines. I hate digital. I want print magazines," but nobody bought them. So yeah, no, I right. Yeah.
And by the way, some manuals just aren't good.
Some what?
I said some manuals just aren't good. It's actually more fun to drive the car with an automatic.
But let's go back to what drives the market. Sometimes people have to release stuff that people don't buy to try to drive the market because it's not consumer demand that creates something that wasn't there.
Well, right. That's right, and that's
come around because someone was like, "I need a big body and I want to ride a short course."
Yeah. So here's the thing with a big monopoly. Maybe Horizon doesn't latch on to the next rock crawling, whatever equivalent it is, and doesn't pick up the equivalent axial line. And I mean that whatever genre would still grow on its own and then eventually get picked up by the big guys. But yeah, there's something to be said about a big company that won't take some of the risks that a small hobby not only wants, but I think needs.
So I'll give an example, and I think I forgot the name. So what's that company that makes the fifth scale truck? Kraken. So they did a GoFundMe for a side-by-side cart to come out with a ready-to-run side-by-side cart that obviously is not out because they wanted to raise like $180,000.
They got $28,
which is the smartest R&D ever if you can get suckers to buy it before it ever comes out. But I even posted that. I was like, well, if I can pre-fund everything to come out, that's the smartest thing in the world. But it's not out.
No, but that's a viable way of doing it.
It's a great story.
Yeah, it was a terrible story. But yeah, that's fine. Doing it that way is fine.
It didn't work. It's not fine.
Well, no, that particular product didn't, but that's a good way to find out if the future demand is there without taking any risk. Like
GoFundMe and Kickstarter for me, or GoFundMe and Kickstarter for people that are really drunk at night, and something comes up and it's like, hey, you can spend $300 now and maybe get this in a year and a half.
And yet some of them work out. So yeah, I would.
I don't know how many. I don't think any. I saw.
I don't know either.
What have you ever bought a thing of Kickstarter?
No, no, I haven't. No.
So I'll give you the example. Ben, the guy that's been on here and writes for the magazine, he bought earbuds, like the iPod ones before the iPods were out, and he spent like $500 on a Kickstarter campaign, and they showed up after AirPods and like didn't really work. Good for Ben. And he was drunk when he bought it. So
yeah, well, right.
The only thing I was going to buy was the tortilla toaster, or the not tortilla. What are those things called? They are tortillas. It was a toaster that would cook 6 at one time instead of cooking them on the oven. You put it to slot down like a toaster. It was the best invention ever. That never came out, and I wanted it.
Well, so there he goes. But again, that's a good way of finding out if the demand is there.
No, it's not out. If I want to,
well, the demand wasn't there.
I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait a year and a half.
Well, right. But again, the demand. Don't you get your money back if it doesn't ever release? Or
no.
Something? Oh, I thought that was part of the game. Like, so who gets the money if they don't reach their goal?
I
I thought if they don't reach their goal, everyone gets their money back. So like it's a no.
Low goal, meet it, and then never come out with the product.
Well, okay, that's different. Okay, that's fine. Okay, right. All right. Are we talking about toasters?
You need
now?
fraud advice. I can help you. Apparently.
Need what advice?
Fraud.
Oh, fraud. Right.
Fraud? Frog.
Frog insurance?
Frogger?
We're on the same page.
Yeah. Me and Pete know the commercial. You don't. You're stupid. You're in Canada.
No, I don't watch commercials. I don't have that kind of TV where commercials play.
What do you watch in Canada?
Well, I watch Netflix, all the streaming things. There's no commercials there. I download. I illegally steal things. That's it.
I know why you winked and admitted to that.
I know whoever government guy's going to come and get me because I illegally steal things. I'm winking at him saying I don't actually illegally download.
Yeah, he's also gay, so
should have known.
He's into you.
Who's into me? The government guy?
Yeah.
All right. I'm open.
What other companies were bought and faded out? Not picking up Proline. We're just discussing buyout. So some of the success stories. Let's talk about the success stories because maybe that's.
Oh, Associated got by Thunder Tiger.
I'm the negative guy, so I have to focus on not being the negative guy.
Associated got bought by Thunder Tiger and is still thriving.
Yes.
Okay, there's one.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Are we talking just in this industry?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's RC.
Well, you told a beer story earlier. I don't know.
A tortilla toaster, Babble.
Yeah, the tortilla toaster was acquired by a bigger tortilla toaster company, and they've flourished since. They now do 8 tortillas.
I mean, I could do this with beer, but this isn't a RC beer Babble thing.
Yeah. Well, what other companies have been acquired? Even I don't know. I mean, I don't
King
know.
Durango.
Go to Horizon's brands page.
Durango wasn't acquired really. Durango was a European company that was making cars, and Great Plains got an exclusive on it, or however you want to word it. And then the company flopped, and it shut down. So like they didn't.
They acquired it.
Okay, right. Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Well, so I'm at the brands page for Horizon. Arma and Axial came over from Hobbyco, right? Mm-hmm. Was Axial ever a pure standalone brand, or were they always bankrolled by?
They were standalone.
Right. So then they went to Hobbyco and then Horizon. Dramata was a Hobbyco brand. So was Duratrax. Dynamite was Horizon's Duratrax until they just bought Duratrax as part of the Hobbyco deal.
I like Dynamite's logo better than Duratrax.
Yeah. E-Flight and ECX are Horizon's own creations. Hangar 9 was something that Horizon acquired, I believe. Hobby Zone, I think, was Horizon's originally. If not, it was Hobby.
Acquire is a gray area word because an exclusive.
That's a nice word. That's a nice word for purchased.
Well, I know what acquire means, but I don't know that some of these companies were acquired or they just had an exclusive distributorship through Horizon, which means they couldn't sell them.
That's also another stupid.
Futaba was never owned by Great Plains, but they were an exclusive. Futaba couldn't sell through Horizon, so there's a difference between buying a company and having an exclusive distributorship. Is what I'm saying. So I don't know which of these companies were. I don't know if Hangar 9 was owned by Horizon or if it was just the exclusive distributor.
We have plans. You want me to get my boat out again?
Well, some of these are cut and dry. I mean, certainly Lozi was a standalone company. Onyx was a brand. OS, I think, is the same thing you're talking about with Futaba. They're not owned by anybody.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Probo is Horizon's own brand. Real Flight was a Hobbyco brand.
Right.
Aether and Trains, I'm not sure if they were ever independent or always part of a distributor. Sato, I don't think is owned by Horizon.
That's right, but it's an exclusive, right? Yeah.
Spectrum is Horizon's own brand. TLR was Lozi. They acquired that. Top Flight was a Great Plains brand. Is that correct?
Well, this is the thing. Again, I'm not. Yeah, I believe it was, but it could have also just been an exclusive.
Yeah, but it's a gray area. We could talk about Great Plains that ate up companies and then they got eaten up. There's a ton of Hobbyco Great Plains stories of aggressive moves over the last decades as well. Of course. Yeah, which one didn't like you? Oh, Horizon didn't like you. That's right.
Horizon, yeah, the wrong one went out of business for me. Right?
Only because you have XXX in your name.
Those were different owners, but they said it. The owner of Horizon said to my buddy during a meeting when he's like, "Why don't you carry XXX, man? We sell tons of it." And they said, "We don't like the name." And my buddy even brought up, Lozi has a car called XXX, and they're like, well, "Listen, we just don't like the name."
But you also understand when Lozi, TLR, or whatever went through 22 different names, they actually got rid of XXX in the name.
No, I'm well aware of that. Yeah, right. But at the time, in the early 2000s,
they was watching porn and they thought like if it's XXX car.
Well, who was talking about it? I think it was Greg Hodap or whatever was talking about. They had all the XXX cars, and then they were about to release a touring car that they wanted to call the XTC. And then they're thinking half their cars are named after porn. Now they're going to name one after a drug. So yeah, they were all very.
After that, of course.
What's that?
I said, of course, Hodap would think of the drug.
Well, I didn't want to get into that, but yeah, right, yeah.
Jeff,
Right.
you should have assured them that you're changing the name of the company, and then you just send them a mock-up of a logo for Donkey Show decals.
I jumped through hoops for Horizon on many occasions. I had many meetings in Chicago. I had many meetings at RCX. I tried my best. I'm no longer trying.
I tried everything before. I made a PG version of my videos.
Yeah, I did that for Great Plains. Great Plains wouldn't even carry my full version of my video. Which, funnily enough, Peter can speak to this. Even RC Car Action wouldn't even allow me to advertise at $3,200 US a page in the first while because of.
I can't speak in money unless I say US.
Well, I say right. I'm a Canadian, so 3,200 US. At the time, 3,200 US was like 4,800 Canadian or 4,600 Canadian. It was an expensive page.
Hey, girlfriend, do you find me sexier with this mouth or Jeff's mouth? In this weird, creepy look that Peter picked.
Jeff, are you ever afraid?
Sorry, yeah.
Are you ever afraid that someone's going to watch this and say, like, if this goofball can make money selling decals, why am I not doing this?
Yeah, go ahead. Listen, lots of people have tried. I got a good thing going. You're not going to knock me down, but go ahead. I'm the Traxxas of stickers right now. Well, listen, it's not a lucrative business cutting out paint masks and sitting in front of.
Whatever, you sit at home. What the hell? It's fine.
Yeah, no, I'm not complaining. I'm happy, but I don't know if there's room. I don't know if there's room for two of us. I think Parma's practically out of business, so that's helping me.
Parma's been gone for a while, and your other.
I don't know what Mike's doing over there. I don't know what the plan is, but they're out of all the distributors. What's that?
I think Parma just gave up.
Yeah, well, that's what it seems like. Yeah, that's what it seems.
Check it out. I'm going to do the scene until the on your head swells up.
You're all talking at once. I have no idea what's going on.
No, we're both not going to talk. What was the other sticker brand that competed with you? There was another sticker brand.
Are you talking about that tattoo guy?
Yeah. Who's that?
Jackal? That's the guy that was copying my ads.
Yeah.
I'd run an ad, and then the next issue of the magazine would come out, and he would have like the same taglines and everything, like literally verbatim was what No, they went away quick. They had a neat idea, but poor execution, and it wouldn't work in this. The way they were doing it wouldn't work anyways. Parma did well for a while, obviously.
Can you still buy Parma paints? Is that a thing? Fast color?
No, well, this is the thing. They're not in Horizon. They're out of HRP. They're out of all the distributors, as far as I know. And I know there was a big problem with at least there was a big problem in the winter. They wouldn't ship their liquid mask or their paints because if they freeze their garbage but I mean they've had all that stuff for years. I don't know.
Here's your advantage of living in the winter all the time. You know how to ship that shit in the cold.
Yeah, no, I don't have any products that can't freeze. I guess all my shit is freezer ready.
Yeah, freezer. It's waiting to be thawed. Parma's been out of business because for a while.
No, they haven't. I don't even think they're technically out of business. I don't know, but no, they definitely haven't been out for a while.
Oh, I mean, I don't know what that means.
I think early in this year, early in 2020, is when I started getting a call or two from some distributors saying, "Listen, we can't get this stuff," and started opening up talks. I think they've been slow to ship for a while, but I think they were still dabbling. Maybe they are. They may still be dabbling. I don't know if Mike's going into the warehouse every day. I have no idea.
I mean, can you buy slot cars from anyone besides Parma?
Yeah, does anyone buy slot cars? Yeah. But I don't know. I know nothing about that end. I mean, that's got to be a tough business. Slot cars don't.
I guarantee someone else makes slot cars. I mean, Trinity.
Yeah, I think they do. I think there's a few companies that do, but I know nothing about it. It'd be even worse than trying to sell 12 scale cars.
I don't know if I agree that Parma had some killer molds, but
Parma had some neat stuff. Hey, listen, that bus was freaking awesome. The cool bus. And they got some old retro stuff. And plus, they make some dimensionally different bodies that fit on some weird projects. Parma, listen, they were my main competition for decals and paint masks. But
for that, yes.
They got some neat things. They got those pretty cool foam body washers. They got a couple little neat things that they're kind of you could only get from Parma.
You can still get nitro speed scent according to their website.
No, what a
I
stupid
like that stuff. I forgot about that.
Nobody. What are you talking about? Yeah, that was the stupidest idea I've ever
No, it
heard.
wasn't. I liked it. I would.
Yeah,
I would
here,
run
let's
it
make
now in
these
my car.
toxic fumes smell like strawberries. So
Yeah,
as you're
I
killing
would
yourself,
put my tank
you're
right
happy.
now. In fact, it probably still works in a full size car. I would definitely have bubblegum exhaust. Smell.
First of all, the smell of nitro fuel is awesome in and of itself. I love the smell of nitro in the morning type thing. But why you would want to make it smell like bubblegum or strawberry butts, I don't know.
I wish they had sponsored every top driver at the IFMAR level so that the world will just smell like bananas and bubblegum and grapes.
Yeah, well, I've been indoors with nitro races, and I wish it sucked. So
I was right. We were at a street.
Nitro, and yeah, I like having bloody boogers and stuff.
Yeah, I came home and threw it after every one.
Motorama was the big indoor one, right?
Yeah, but there was CRC did a big one every year.
Yeah.
I mean, you got 12 cars on the track. You got 12 cars staging. And they got these two big fans that are blowing them out the storm doors, which is doing nothing. You can't take pictures from a media standpoint. You can't take pictures. There's a haze everywhere. And literally, I left sick every time. I remember telling Derek I'm not going again. I'm not going.
I thought I was going to puke. It was a disaster. I'm like, this is so unhealthy. I mean,
yeah, it's bad. It was bad. And
there were guys wearing full-on respirator. Like that was required. I wish I had a full-on respirator.
Yeah, I would have worn it. Yeah.
Now we can do it with our paper masks. Indoor nitro should be back.
Yeah.
The mask filters everything.
Yeah, I think we finally had the opportunity not to have the show go over an hour because we don't have like a guest that has a lot of great things to talk about.
We're still
At least it was a great show.
We're still talking about distributors and the industry and how everybody's worried about brick and mortar going out of business, but that was since like printed pages.
No, but a bunch of brick and mortar did go out of business since we started worrying about it.
So let's define this when we use excuses for things. You go out of business when you suck, most of the time.
No, that's not true. A lot of things happen. First of all, internet came at the same time that China started selling direct, probably because of the internet.
You didn't have to use around since 1994. What are you talking about?
Listen, you didn't use to.
It's different. I don't know.
You didn't have to compete against Hobby Wing selling $3 servos, $4 light bulbs.
Listen to me for 1 second. Vettel won this weekend. The weekend before, Hamilton won with a flat tire. He blew out, and if he went one more lap, he would have lost.
Wait a minute, Vettel won a race? That's impressive.
I just ruined Jeff's Formula One because he's.
But I don't know if you're lying or not, so it doesn't matter. Nothing.
Yeah, I'm totally lying.
Yeah, obviously.
Well, I'm a Hamilton fan, but I'm a Ferrari fan.
Everyone's a Hamilton. Oh, really? I like Verstappen, but yeah, that's fine. Everyone's a Hamilton fan, but you can't really be a fan of Hamilton. He's too fast.
It's a great musical.
So I've heard. Hard to get tickets from what unless you're Pence.
But
no, nothing for the Pence joke.
Scott says brick and mortar is 25% it used to be. Yeah, I agree because it's like.
Yeah, he's probably right. I don't know about 25%, but 43.2% of all cities.
I would say less. Yeah, made up in the spot. I would say less, but again, it's you had bad business practices.
And that's right. Yeah, so the bad business practice it really shines now, and you go away. But the reality is when you go to even someone who's trying hard and maybe doesn't have the market or the ability to carry the inventory, the margins are so low now. You have to do a huge amount of volume.
Why are the margins low? Well, I'll blame distributors for that then.
Well, yeah, MAP has actually helped since distributors brought in MAP because you used to get A-main type companies who would MAP, minimum advertised price. MAP. M-A-P. Oh, I'm going to punch you. Yeah.
Well, then, if you
Pam?
When you've got products that have very narrow margins, you have to make an effort to bring in some products that have big margins. I mean, there are plenty of hobby stores.
And there are a few more out there these days that are trying to do that. A couple distributors.
I have a fully stocked RC department that per sale I don't make as much on, but over here I've got this rack of little toys and gizmos, and I make a huge margin on those. And that's $50,000 every year. My business is just selling the little fuzzy worm on a string.
Yeah, but you sold fuzzy worms on a string even when it was more lucrative in the hobby end of it, in the RC end of it as well. Yeah, so what you're saying is true, but there was always those high profit.
Who decides profit margin?
Sorry, well, the market. If an internet store that doesn't have as much overhead and cheaper overhead can sell at lower margins, then you have to start matching those prices. This isn't confusing. This is basic economics.
Tesla sells whatever price they want. They set their own profit margin.
Tesla doesn't have competition for the most part yet. What do you?
There's no car. That's the only
The
car.
Chevy Volt is not knocking them out just yet. So
People are paying a premium for the Tesla name. No one
Yes, that's
talks
right.
about Tesla
Yeah.
and doesn't say, but I want the Tesla name.
But we're not talking about brand to brand. If a pair of Proline tires is $49 at a brick and mortar, if a pair of Proline tires cost the hobby shop $40 and they sell them for $55 and make a measly $15 on them, if another shop sells them for $48 and only makes $8, you got it on an online shop. You got to sell them for $48 most of the time.
So the profit margins go down because of online, but that's just what it is.
Well, the increased competition with lower overhead has allowed them to run lower margins. So the brick and mortar can sell for higher than, say, a website and argue like, look, you're walking out with the tires right now. I recommended the tire in the compound. I have my expert staff. You can talk about this all you want, but in the end, the price has come down because the price has come down at other shops. And like the shop that I work at, the boss is really good. His prices are the best. No one's
His prices are.
He's not lower than anyone else. He's the same as the lowest as everyone, because you sell everything at MAP. Again, that minimum MAT in your case,
which is illegal, by the way.
This is basic economics that has driven the price down, has driven the margins down.
You're saying MAP is illegal?
Price fixing is illegal.
That's not price fixing. It's the lowest price you can advertise. It's not.
Yeah, that's right. You're allowed to sell it for whatever you want. And in fact, A-Man got around it because they would advertise a price, the MAP. And then when you clicked on it and entered it into the cart, you would immediately get some weird discount where you got to
click the basket to find the lower price.
That's right.
Everybody.
Yeah. I don't know if they're still doing that, if they're allowed or whatnot. But the MAP has actually helped. And now the thing is even when the MAP pricing is low margins, but at least it caps how crazy someone with less overhead can go. So it is welcome in the industry if the manufacturer and the distributor sets the MAP properly. But no matter what way you look at it, the margins have been driven down, and it's a tougher business. Even if you're running your hobby shop well, if you're not doing the volume to compensate for the lower margin, it's a tough business.
Right. But that's true in every industry. Is that
of course it is. I'm not crying for the hobby industry, right? Yeah.
Did you cry? Right now?
I could cry on command. I'm like an actor.
You're fucking crying. You crying?
Acting.
You cut you?
What are you holding up? You're a weirdo.
You don't have a pocket knife?
Yeah, on me. I'm going to stab something.
Well,
you're all freaking weirdos.
Yeah.
Is this the new gun of the U.S.?
You don't have a knife in Canada?
No, I have a beer. That's what Canadians bring.
This one's made in the U.S., by the way. It's bench made. Nice.
Oh, so it's got COVID. Good.
You know why I carry this?
For Derek? So you can stab him.
A punch bag.
Yeah.
All right.
I opened the box for the boat with this today. So.
Oh yeah, the boat. You had to remind us that you brought a boat to this party.
I actually found this in a field. It's like a $50 knife. It's a nice gift.
Can I show Peter my toys?
Well, we're still live.
Yeah, if anybody wants to know, we do have a toy show after this. We should probably get more viewers if we actually broadcast.
My kid is in love with Peter and Derek now too, because Derek sent a Godzilla video. Yeah, you're not going to impress him with that, Pete, but you'll impress me with that. I'm impressed. I like you.
Lured right into the basement with that.
What just happened?
Follow me.
Joseph has some talent.
This is the only toy I have, and it's not a toy. It's a bobblehead for UConn winning 3 national championships. But that's okay. No more sports. So this is a memory of.
I don't have any toys here.
I just got this guy. I think his name is Asian Stereotype. His actual name is Jitsu.
Actually, it looked like
Then you're right. All right. What is this crap?
I don't know. This guy said to not stop the show until we ruin it, right?
Yeah.
It's ruined.
It was ruined on episode 1. Who said that?
General Hobbies.
Horizon needs to buy the show. Then it'll be
the production of the art items to announce the show have been top notch.
Yeah, you're good at what you do, Pete. There's no arguing.
Thank you.
And the mouth things that you do with the
Cookie Monster volume. I played it at work today, and it blew me off the chair. It was way louder than the rest of the stuff. And my favorite Cookie Monster thing was when Howard Stern used to put Matumbo's voice and put Cookie Monster in the background because he sounded like Cookie Monster. It's a basketball reference for anybody that watches basketball in the past.
That's terrible sport.
Yeah, it's not curling or hockey, so Jeff doesn't know anything about it. And we got to start.
As far as I know, you can just watch the last 3 minutes of basketball and find out the winner.
You can watch the last 3 minutes of anything to see one. Like
it's always like 101 to 104. and then whoever gets the last 3-pointer, everyone cheers or something. I don't know.
Actually, that is a great concept for a sport where like the winner is determined at the start of the game, and it's their job not to screw it up.
I think you guys missed my point. What I mean is the score always they just seem to run to one end and put it in, and then run to the other end and put it in, and they go back and forth, and it's like
I know it's way different in hockey where they score one thing in 4 hours, but
no, you're talking about soccer. I hate soccer
hockey.
Because I know I heard you said hockey, but in soccer,
hey,
you don't get a lot of 0-0 hockeys or 1-0.
Hey, I'll say this: any sport that ends in a tie is not a sport.
Okay, I'm fine with that. But any sport that you can watch for 3 hours and you can get a 0-0 score like soccer, I think is ridiculous.
Hockey, what are you talking about? Oh no, they changed it, which made all the.
It's an extreme rarity in hockey that you'll end up with
shootouts because all the Canadians are mad, but the Canadians can't even win hockey anymore. So you should pick another sport.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I'll take basketball and soccer. That's fine.
Well, you did. You had Toronto, yeah.
I don't
know if you know this, but Toronto Raptors won.
Yeah, I know. I didn't care then. I mean, it's nice. That's great. That's awesome. But I'm not a basketball guy, so but I'm happy that the Raptors did well. Good. That's awesome. I feel I was a part of that. I feel I contributed, so they can thank me.
Anyway, on this show, we didn't give anything away from Proline. Hoping we can still give away Proline stuff.
Sorry, I'd like you to word that differently. It's Proline by Horizon.
I won't say that.
Yeah, wait till you get the press release.
Yeah.
If you want the ad dollars every month, you're going to start wording it this way.
Cricket.
Oh, cricket. Yeah, Scott.
That's not Canadian. So,
all right, Knifey Spoony. Whoever ends this show, do that.
I don't know how to do it. I'm going to let this show crash.
Do we have anything else to talk about?
Viewers go to 0. We're going to sit here and look at each other. Hey, bring out the toys. We're going to go next week. Maybe we'll have somebody on here that's better looking than us.
Who's your secret guy you said you were going to get on tonight? Tell us now.
I had a secret guy?
Well, you said you bragged to all of us that I could get a guest, and then you didn't.
I mean, I can get someone.
Who did you have in mind? Let's tell everyone to see if you can get him for next week or her. Who'd you have in mind? Who'd you got?
I just said I can get a guest.
Okay,
actually, Eddie from Brood Racing wants to come on.
Eddie from Brood Racing.
He used to make the motors, crazy Eddie.
Oh, I know the guy. I don't know him, but you told me stories about him all the time.
You were in Florida with us once or twice, I think, or no?
Was I? I might have been. No, I was in Florida when we were in the car with Brandon Rohde and you spun the SUV out, and we almost all died. That was Florida, wasn't it?
Was that Florida? I was at Car Action. That was a terrible terrible rental.
You literally spun the car out on like a highway.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Yeah.
I had a lot of counter steering going on, but
it was ineffective at the time.
Once it goes like this and then like this and then like this and then it goes like this.
That should have ended worse than it did. Yeah.
Hey. Yep. You know what strikes me as weird? Anytime I see a video of a guy trying to do a massive, peel out at Cars and Coffee, and he gets sideways and goes into the curb, no counter steering at all, like none.
Yeah, no, he didn't even try.
Well, usually.
Like, why do you have that car? Like, you can't drive.
I think about that all the time because as soon as you feel the car's going to rotate left naturally, you kind of just go like this when it starts to do that. But people get afraid, then let off, and then you get traction, and then it spins out even worse. But we're all not great drivers, to be honest with you. It's scary when you have a high horsepower car and all of a sudden the butt comes out. You got to practice that, just like everything. Anyway, subscribe to the magazine. You'll get great, boring information like this. This is RC Babble. I mentioned before the show, I would not watch us. So I thank you if you watched the shit today. If you watched it, you should probably subscribe to the magazine and save yourself a lot of time and effort. Unless you're drinking with us and just bored and want to hang out with us. You can go to Canada. Jeff has an Airbnb set up. His man buns out, and then Vetter is totally said get off the show. So
Vetter's got to talk to Peter about some Godzilla.
Toys to discuss after the show.
We could probably do a good show if we wanted to.
Yeah.
You want to start a Godzilla show?
I guarantee you'll have more views if you do the Pete and Vetter show. So
I guarantee it as well.
I'll take 10% of the proceeds. So
8 cents.
I got the Zoom. I pay $50 a month for Zoom or whatever the hell this is. StreamYard.
Not Zoom.
All right. So subscribe. I'm going to do the boring, stupid ending that I keep thinking I'm going to redo because I know I can do it better. But
you should redo it.
Instead, I drew the dumpster fire, and
which I liked.
better camo in 4 seconds than Jeff said.
Not better camo, but the dumpster fire you did well.
So,
Hey guys, the show's over, but let me explain what keeps this show going. It's not the terrible quality or the 38 cents. We're actually a magazine you download. And here's a quick video showing you how to do it. It's pretty simple. You get an email, click download. This is on an iPad, so the example's for an iPad, but it's pretty simple and the same steps apply for every tablet. Just download it to your tablet. Comes on there, make it a library, put it on your iBooks or whatever PDF viewer you like, and then you have full access to all our back issues with flippable pages, links that direct you to an ad if you are interested in a high-tech servo or the new associated drag car. You just click their links and it brings you right to their website. It's just like a magazine, but on your phone. So you read it in the bathroom, just like good old times, but now it's digital. So remember to wipe your phone down because that's gross. Support us, subscribe, do whatever you need to do.
He's a
that's
silly.
it. It's Toy Time. Sorry you guys can't join us. If you want to experience Toy Time, have your own video.